What is up? What is up? What is up? Everyone. It's another day, another time, and another week for a Word from the Web podcast. Look, y'all, look. I know y'all have been paying attention and how fire the topic of Kingdom Boss has been. And we have had some straight up bosses on this podcast. And today, look, it's no different. I have my good friend, my sister, Coach Tevis, the one that keeps me in line on Real Talk Monday a lot of the times, which I absolutely love her for. She will let me know like when we need to slow down or when things need to kind of be switched up a little bit, and I love it. And I thank God for her daily. She is a straight up boss in every area of life. She is a mother. She is a business owner. She works full time. Anything she does in excellence. So at this time, what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the theme song, and the next voice you'll hear after the theme song is played is that of me and Coach Tevis. And oh yeah, by the way, look, have y'all not subscribed to the YouTube channel yet? Like, what's y'all waiting on? Like, we've been coming with y'all with the straight bangers, straight fire, and y'all still ain't subscribing. All right. I see y'all playing this. That's cool. That's cool. We'll talk about that later. But we're about to play the theme song and then get into this fire interview. Let's go. Hey. How are you doing, sis?
I am doing good. How are you?
I am great. I'm great. It is amazing to have such a dynamic woman like yourself on this podcast because, y'all, like I said, she is a straight up boss. So when God gave me this theme for however long we will be doing this theme, I knew somewhere in there I had to interview Coach Tevis.
Well, thank you. Thank you for thinking of me for sure.
You know, I got you. Like before we get into these questions, y'all, like legit, when I met her, it was so funny. We probably have met like when we was younger.
Hmm.
And then when we finally linked up again, it was doing an interview for another one of my podcasts. We was doing a behind the scenes trying to teach make sure she knew how to log in the StreamYard and things like that. And as soon as we get on, the first thing that came out of her mouth was, "You know my grandfather." I'm like, "I do." And as soon as he told me who her grandfather was, I'm like, "Oh, we family, like legit." I still think the world of your grandfather. So,
He is definitely missed. He is definitely missed.
oh, definitely. After that, I found out that she was a cousin to my former pastor. So it was like everything was just like I'm like, okay, yeah, she family. She family. So let's get into this interview. So sis, the first question I got for you is when I say kingdom boss mindset, what comes to your mind? And I know you the queen of the definition. So come on with
Well,
the
and I
definition.
didn't do any definitions. I just
What? What?
straight from the brain this time. So the first thing that comes to mind for me is a boss for the kingdom of God, right? And with that, someone who has the mindset to lead in a way that is pleasing to God, standing on His word and leading the people in a way that they see God in me, but also in a space in which I'm leading. I think of peace and communication when I think of kingdom boss mindset, but I also think of that when I think of an effective and an efficient leader. Like when turmoil arises, you deal with and manage it in a way that peace remains. That goes back to me saying that you can be an empathetic leader and lead effectively, being in control of yourself. So that's kind of what I think of when I think of kingdom boss mindset.
Okay. I like that. I love that answer right there. I love that. So next question is, how did you become a business coach?
So I have been in education in some capacity since I graduated college in 2001. I have worked in early child care education, so early care for majority of that. I've spent time in, which is birth to 5 years old. I spent time in an elementary school. I did, of course, do substitute teaching at some point in between and around time. My last stint in the classroom, I felt like there was more that I could do.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved here, spent my last year in the classroom, I went to work for the state as a program evaluator. And my boss, my last boss there, told me, she's like, "You are a leader." And I'm like, "Why do you say that?" I hadn't heard that since I was a child. And I was like, why do you say that? And she's like, "Because so many of your coworkers come to you instead of, me as the boss, because they trust how you're going to fight for what is right, but also in how you're expressing yourself." And she said, "Just be careful with that, because then sometimes it leads to you being the fallback guy, but also you don't want anybody to take it." And she said, "But I like to encourage you to step into your leadership role or abilities more so." So, I kind of started thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. I was like, and it was waking me up out of my sleep. And I thought, okay, I may need to step into this. So one night I just woke up out of my sleep and started looking for different colleges and universities that may have leadership programs, coaching programs. And so I found one. I had left the state job and I was like, well, let me try to get in a leadership role. So I became an assistant director at a program. And during the pandemic, there was only so much that I could do as an assistant director versus being the classroom teachers who we were
Right.
trying to assist and help and teaching little ones virtually, which is a challenge. So, for at that point, I was almost finished with my degree. I got my second master's from Lipscomb University in organizational leadership with two certifications, one in global leadership and the other in performance coaching. So during the pandemic, I was just like, what can I do? They always say, you need to have multiple streams of income. This is my time, right? This is my time. So I created Savet Empowerment, and I started off as training. And then I thought, you know what, I need to, because that connects to being an educator. I can stand up in front of people, teach, train, lead, guide. But I was like, I have this coaching that I really enjoyed going through the process. So let me capitalize on coaching and consulting. So that's what I started doing. I started advertising myself for coaching and consulting and in the early child care sector. And I've drifted out a little bit by way of, not away from, just expanding myself. And I've worked with small business owners who want to be nail techs or lash techs or beauticians and create their own business, right? So I've kind of helped those type of people kind of get a foundation of how to start. So, when you hear God in the middle of the night, in the midnight hours, as my granny used to say, not sometimes, you just need to wake up and receive, and you need to step into it. so that is, I don't want to go too far off. So that is how the business coaching came into play. And I love it. I wish that I could do it full time. Maybe, and hopefully one day I will, but I definitely enjoy, um, I feel like when I'm in that coaching consulting atmosphere that I'm in my jam. I'm in my purpose, right? So that's what got me there.
Yeah, I totally understand that because that's like me when I'm doing what I'm doing now, or when I'm preaching God's word. I feel like I'm like, okay, this is what I'm called to do. This is my purpose. I love doing stuff like
Mm-hmm,
this.
mm-hmm,
So it's like I wish I could do it full time, but yet and still, you got to realize like now that ain't paying the bills. So,
mm-hmm,
however,
mm-hmm.
until
Yeah,
it does,
yeah. Yeah, I like creating and developing systems and doing the training and the coaching.
right.
Um, it's kind of, everybody's always said, you're so structured, you're so da da. Well, I guess it's a part of my character, part of my nature. So kind of pulling that out to possibly get paid for it kind of made it easy for me. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that I could get out there more because people don't really want to pay. People want to do as much as they can for free, and trust me, I get it because this is in my life. Any free trainings I can get to help me do and be better is financially feasible for me. But I
Right.
again can guarantee that if once you step into that coaching, you have to be vulnerable by way of allowing someone to kind of make you uncomfortable. But you got to remember you're an expert at your own life, right? So I'm here as a coach to support and guide and kind of to ask those hard questions or the questions that you may not think to ask yourself when it comes to your business. So
I like that. I like that. You are a, you are a master at your own life. I like that. I
yep.
like that. All right, next question. How did you get started with Truth with Tevis? Because y'all, if y'all notice, I share those a lot of the times on my page. I'm having to stay on Tevis. I'm like, make this public.
And I have kind of fallen to the wayside the last couple months. I need to get back on it. I enjoy doing them. It's my way of keeping myself out there. So to answer the question, a friend encouraged me to start that so that I could get my name out there more. I'm not fond of being in front of the camera. But I knew I was like, I need to get used to this if I'm going to make a name for myself in any capacity. I was also like, this could be my way of like dropping gems about maternal health, early child care, and truths about just things, right? Um, the goal is always to post them on Tuesday, and I'm trying to get my mojo back with that. And because since I've started back working a full time job, my days are not as free as I would like for them to be. But my goal is to make sure. Typically, I record them on Sunday and post them on Tuesday, and then sometimes I'll just record them while I'm sitting at work on Tuesdays if it's slow, and post it, right? So I want to get back into that, but I was encouraged by a friend to start that. It helped me to start getting used to being in front of the camera, along with you asking me to be a part of Real Talk. So I was like, oh, I don't know about this in the camera. I don't know about how I sound. I still cringe sometimes to hear myself, but I'm trying
But
to
you
get
come with
over
that
it. So
fire.
that's
You
kind
come
of
with that fire. So I don't know why you even cringe because you come with that fire.
but I enjoy doing the truth with Tevis, and I love it when people message me and say, "Hey, can you talk about this?" or "Hey, what are your thoughts about that?" Because then it gives me more to talk about and more to share. And in that, I do define and get the statistics behind stuff. Those things aren't necessarily my truths. I will tell if I've had an experience with a certain topic, how it went for me. But typically, I do try to find the facts about whatever the topics are that I talk about.
Facts. And you definitely will get those definitions if you tune in to We'll Talk Monday too. Because she will quickly hit you with those. And that's what we love about her. So the next question I got for you is How did you become a birth doula?
So I became a birth doula because my first love growing up, I always wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a pediatrician. So I wanted to work with children and I wanted to work in oncology, which is typically children with cancer. And starting Western, I was a biology pre-med major. My life was consumed for those first 3 years. Those chemistry labs, a couple of math classes was kicking my butt. So I decided to switch. I was going to switch to nursing, but the waiting list for nursing was forever long. Um, so that's how I got into education because I knew whatever I wanted to do, I wanted to work with children. So if I couldn't support them medically, then I could support them educationally. And so as life has went on, before I got my second master's, I actually started taking classes at Tennessee TCAT, Tennessee College of Applied Technology, to become a nurse. And I was working with the state, and I had saved up all my sick and annual leave. And I said, hey, I want to go back to college, but I want to do nursing, but I have to do clinicals twice a week. So I'm saving up all my time, even as a single mom. And so I can be off 2 days a week, and they were like, okay, they were going to support me in that. But then no sooner that I passed all my prerequisites,
They, we
they
didn't remember
changed,
saying that. We don't
they,
remember saying that.
they changed the program to being 3 days clinicals. And again, as a single mom, mortgage, and having a full-time job, they weren't going to grant me being away from the job 3 days a week. So, or if I could do it effectively. So I had to pull out from that. And I thought, well, maybe it's not in God's will for me to be in the medical field to that capacity. And so I thought about being a doula and eventually becoming a midwife after that. But it would have been hard because Ava was still young and she couldn't stay home by herself, right? If I got called out in the middle of the night for a birth or something of that sort, and being able to get her to school. So when I lost my job last February, I thought, oh my God, this is the time. I can step into this. I have the time to do some training and classes. And when I start picking up clients, Ava is 16. She'll be getting a car soon. If not, she can catch the bus now. She's a big girl. She can catch the bus in the neighborhood if she needs to. If I'm, pulled away at night, we've got all the safety we need here at the house. So this is the time. I can do this now. So I did that last year. I have not yet had my first client. However, I have talked to a handful of women and supported them just in the communication aspect. So I haven't been able to experience the birth yet, but I have been able to educate some women and hope to contract with some other programs that work with women to be able to at least give the educational aspect of maternal health, and especially in the Black and Brown community where we suffer so much with the lack of care that's given to our women prior to, during, and after their pregnancy. So that's kind of where that was birthed.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. And I support you 1,000% on that. Whatever,
You.
if you need anything from me, I got you on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So next one that I got for you wasn't on here,
Oh,
but we're gonna throw a little curveball at
right. You
you.
good at that.
Hey, at least I ain't putting you on the spot to pray today.
Right. Thank you.
So the curveball I'm gonna throw at you is how did you get started with Real Talk Monday? How did you get started with that?
So I was asked to be on the Godly View.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you shared the story about our first conversation, and you was talking about how you were looking for somebody else to be just some support on Real Talk Monday. And I said, well, maybe I can help you, at least a couple times a month to do that. And you was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I don't really know. I'm not sure. I've never done it before, but I can try to help and support. And from there, you kind of taught me through it and share with me what your thoughts and desires was, and what to expect. And from there, we
We've been
started,
kicking it.
creating topics, thinking of ideas, inviting people on, and um, yeah, so we just got started. So that was the process. It's helped me to get comfortable and comfortable in front of the camera for sure. There are a few things that I still want to work on, but I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress. But every day, I hope that I'm getting smarter and wiser and just better in my ability to interact with people effectively for sure.
Like you, ma'am, the first time that you came on the Godly View and you had mentioned that you wouldn't mind helping me out, I'm like, okay, I'm hearing it. Let me
Mm-hmm.
bring on We'll Talk Monday on a panel discussion.
Mm-hmm.
You came on there on a panel discussion, and I will never forget it. You was just a guest on that panel discussion, ma'am. You sat there and read off the questions as, and I'm like, she already coming in here. She ready. She ready. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, God, I see what you just did right here. I see what you did right here. Because here's the funny thing that a lot of people don't know. Before you and Daisy came on to Real Talk Monday,
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple of other co-hosts. Both of them did a great job
Mm-hmm.
for the times that they was there.
Mm-hmm.
And when one left, I immediately the first mistake I made was I didn't pray first. I just immediately went into let me find another co-host.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I started trying to find who I wanted. I had three different women lined up to like kind of be co-hosts, like kind of see if they would be good fits.
Mm-hmm.
None of the three ever even showed up for their first live show.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, okay, God, what are you trying to tell me here?
Mm-hmm.
Cause like these three would be perfect. He's like, oh, they would have been, but you didn't pray to me first. These ain't who I got for you. First one that he gave me was Daisy. Daisy
Mm-hmm.
came in, she did great. Then I ran into you. And when I ran into you, it was like God was like, now Daisy has already told you she ain't willing to come on full time. She can't do
Mm-hmm.
full time.
Mm-hmm.
This woman right here is saying she'll come on the Mondays that Daisy can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you got it. And I'm like, okay, God, okay. And literally, you have came on to this show and brought organization. You have brought a lot of great topics. You have brought like so many great things. And I people that have been following Bill Talk Monday for the longest have actually said they could tell the growth in the show since I have you and Daisy on there. So
Oh, well, that's
I want
good.
to personally tell you I appreciate you for coming
Well,
on
thank
there and
you.
rocking with me.
I appreciate the opportunity. Never did I think that I would be on any kind of podcast. So, thank you. I appreciate your help and your support for sure.
You know, I got you. Like I said, I got you. And the next question I got for you is how do so you like I said, you are a major boss. You do everything. So here's the question I got for you. How do you find the balance between being a mother, being a worker, and being a business owner and having time for yourself?
And it's very hard. so,
Mhm.
I must be intentional. I try to spend time with myself at least once a month with intent, whether it's laying around all day, whether it's taking myself out to eat, going to the movies by myself, just whatever I can do, right? And typically, excuse me, when I do those things, it's because my daughter is being a teenager, so she's out with her friends, right? I do have mom guilt sometimes, like for example, I'm super thankful for the job that I have, but it's a major pay cut from where I was before. And super thankful that my business was able to carry me. I had the most clients last year than I ever had, and was able to carry
I'm
me
not
during
bad.
that season of my life that I didn't have a full time job. So I'm thankful. I just hope God knows that in my heart, that I am thankful for the opportunities that He's given me. But I'm down to one client now, which we know as entrepreneurs, you're gonna have high seasons, low seasons, in between seasons. Well, which is why I never wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur. I always just wanted to be a part-time entrepreneur because I need that consistency. Just the way that I work and move, I
You
need
need
some
that
type of consistent
consistency.
income coming in, right? And so it's okay that I have one client, and then I have a little part-time job that I side hustle on, other than my business. And like yesterday, I have a quota, that I like to meet. So I ended up working till like 11 o'clock. I went to my job from 8 to 4:30. So we wake up at 5. We lay in the bed and we pray. And typically my daughter comes in the room and gets in my bed with me. We pray and then get up. We do exercises. We shower. We get ready for work. Drop her off at school 7 o'clock. I head to the office. I'm there from 8 to 4:30, and then from 4:30 until 11 last night, 11ish, I did my part-time job. And I felt bad because usually on Friday she's at basketball games or football games, but she didn't go to one last night, so she was kind of here by herself after school, and I feel guilty about that. But she knows I have a goal right now. I'm trying to get something paid off, so I count down the days, 64 more days, and this will be paid off. But I have to be intentional. I have to be intentional about spending time with myself. My goal is this year is to read more this year, which I have. I've been reading at least 20 pages every day to educate myself and expand my knowledge and my vocabulary. I pray, I exercise, and just try to keep myself going. I try to check in with my daughter often, but there is a balance because she's a teenager. So if I do it too much, it's just like, Mom, what's wrong with you? Or Mom, so you kind of have to find that balance of checking in. And she'll understand when she gets older. Like last night, I apologized. Sorry that I worked so late. She's like, Mommy, it's okay. And I'm like, no, really, it's not. Why am I 3 degrees in and can't find a job to pay me what I'm worth, right? And it can get discouraging. It gets discouraging, but I say always, I stay humble because God has kept me and He's keeping me, and I'm alive and I'm well and I'm healthy, and I have my parents and my siblings and my daughter. We're all healthy and we're making it. We may not be 100% perfect, but we're here and we're able, so I have to find that balance with her. We do enjoy going to the movies together. We enjoy cuddling up in the bed with each other. Every once in a while I'll pop up at one of her sports events. Not that she's playing, of course I'm at every one of her games, but just if she's going to a basketball game or a football game, sometimes I'll pop up at those. Which is always so funny because she's like, what do you have on? Which pair of shoes do you have on? So she always has to do this like check. Like, she know her mama's fly, girl. I got this,
Like we invented the fly. What y'all
Right,
talking
right.
about?
But she always has to, like, I'm like, girl, I'm good. Like, I got this. So that always tickles me. So I definitely try to make sure that I spend time with her. I talk to her. I love on her. She is my best friend. That's my baby. So, we do the hair appointments, and, she kind of has her own person that does her nails now, but we make sure we travel together at least once or twice a year. We are going to spend spring break doing college tours this year. So that is new. That's kind of exciting, but, but it's the process. That's the stage we are in her life, in our life. So just being present. But again, trying to find a balance with that because college is coming fast, and I just kind of want to make sure that I'm giving her the tools that she needs to start this life, to get into this world. Again, working full time, which pays the bills. So I give 8 hours to that, and I try not to bring that work home. With my current job, I don't have to, which is a blessing. So that's it. That's what I do. I try to shoot home. Not as often as I probably need to, but definitely try to do it once or twice a month. To see my parents and lay eyes on them. Thankful that they're both still self-sufficient and independent. And I know my brothers and nieces and nephews are there, so hopefully they're checking in more than me. But I think I probably get on their nerves because the boys check in is different from the girls check in. But I had to say to my mom the other day, "Do you want somebody to take care of you? Do you want somebody to take care?" She was like, "Yeah, but what? If I'm asking questions, just answer. You just got the doctor. Like, it's okay. I'm not questioning you by way of like you don't know what you're talking about, but tell me what happened. Tell me what the doctor said, right. So we are entering a different phase in our life as adults, but as our parents are getting older as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think about that, and I think about how I want to be able to take care of my parents when they're no longer able to work. I want to be able to support them. So finding the balance can be hard. It can be physically draining, but I trust that I'm in this season for a reason. And I just try to make sure that I make time to love on myself, but to love on those that love me as well.
I like that. Because, see, I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard for me to find that balance. I ain't even going to front. Like, I had to literally be purposeful today. I got up at about 5:45 this morning, got dressed, and went to the gym by 6:30. Just so that I could spend a little bit of time in the gym. Then came home, jumped in here in the studio room, and maybe left out for maybe a couple of minutes here and there, but I pretty much been in here all day today. And I knew that's what today was going to be. I knew today was going to be recording day. But so I always like, when I'm talking to other major bosses like yourself, I always like to figure out, like, how do you find that balance?
Yeah. You have to be intentional. It's intentional. Again, you know what you love doing, this podcasting. I love the coaching and consulting. Like I said, it gives me my feels, but it doesn't pay all the bills right now, so I'm not yet in that space to where I can market like I want to, because it does take a financial piece that I don't have at this point. You know what I'm saying? But I trust that everything happens for a reason when it does. And again, working in education is underpaid, right? But I just want to be rich in all things that is pleasing to God. You know what I'm saying? So learning to manage and budget with the income that I'm making now is why I'm doing this third job, really, to get some things paid off, just to make life a little bit smoother, I guess. But you have to be intentional. Take care of your health for sure.
I feel that. Sorry, we about to have a little bit of fun now. So I'm asking you 3 questions.
Okay.
You can go to dinner with one. You can write a book about one, and one of them has to play you in a movie.
Okay.
So we're gonna go with Tamala Mann, Tasha Cobb Leonard, and Yolanda Adams.
A movie, book, and what?
Dinner.
So it would be nice to go to dinner with all of them, to have a conversation with them. But if somebody had to play me in a movie, Tamala Mann, Yolanda Adams, and who? Tasha Leonard. Tasha May could play me in a movie.
I can see that.
I would have dinner with Yolanda, and then I would probably write a book about Tamala.
All right, all right, all right. So uh next one is I'm gonna go with Oprah Winfrey, Gayle King, and Katherine Jackson.
And who?
Katherine Jackson,
I don't know. How do I? Who's Catherine?
Michael
Oh,
Jackson's mama and
as
them.
soon as I said that, I thought, who's Catherine? Then I thought about Michael Jackson's mom. Okay. So Catherine, Gail, and Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner with Gail. No, dinner with Catherine. Gail could probably play me in a movie. And when I'm saying this movie, I'm thinking about maybe personality.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would write a book about Oprah, honey.
Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. I can see that. All right, we're gonna go with uh, Princess Diana,
Okay.
Aretha Franklin,
Mm-hmm.
and Gladys Knight.
Princess Diana, Aretha Franklin, and Gladys Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Now Aretha had some hits back in the day, honey.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
So Aretha, I would probably want to write a book about Aretha.
Mm-hmm.
Gladys, she might could play me in a movie. And
Princess Diana.
yeah, we need to have dinner. We need to have dinner. We need to talk. I need to speak some life and encouragement into her in the midst of her trials and tribulations and her confidence. So I'd like to have dinner with Princess Diana.
Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. I like that. All right, so I got one more of these for you.
Okay.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna make it hard on you now.
Mm-hmm.
Medea, Aunt Bam, and what was her name? Oh man, Sister Odell.
uh, uh, um, so Medea probably, she probably could play me in a movie.
Okay, okay, okay.
Bam, let's talk, girl. Let's talk. We gotta talk. Uh, and
And
the other
Sister
one,
Odell.
yeah. Oh, was it Bam? Yeah. Odell. Odell probably got some stories to tell, so I'd like to
Oh
write
yeah,
a
oh
tell
yeah.
all or something about Sister Odell.
Okay, all right, all right. So last question that I got for you on the night, on the day is I want you to tell, like, speak some life into someone that may be in the same situation that you are in or have been in. I want you to take this moment right now to speak some life into them and tell them where they can follow you at.
Okay. So some of the same things that I share with my daughter. Don't give up on your heart's desires, even if the path is not normal. Love yourself always, and know that every day you're working hard and putting your best foot forward. Always be encouraged. Above all, pray and believe. And for me and my daughter, our higher power is God. Whoever your higher power is, whatever your spiritual beliefs in is, believe in them. Having a relationship with your higher power and trusting in him at all times is just so important. Again, love yourself and work hard. No one is going to give you anything, or um and no matter what, so let me say that no one is going to give you anything. And the conversation I just had with my daughter is, if you feel like the teachers aren't doing your part, what are you doing? Because if you're sitting back waiting for somebody to do something for you, you're going to keep waiting. Because people want to see, especially these new age teachers, they want to see that you're putting your work forward. Bosses, that you're doing your part. If you're not doing your part, they're not going to want to help you, because they don't want to waste their time, right? So you got to show that you're worthy. Sometimes we do have to prove ourselves, but not in a way that you're being a butt kisser. Showing that you're worthy, showing that you're capable, showing that you're hungry and that you want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to show that. Again, love yourself and work hard. No one is going to give you anything or give you anything that you won't easily at times. And no matter your experience and or your education, trust and believe folks will be intimidated by who you are. So don't give up. It's a battle every day, being a woman, being a Black woman, being a human at this point. It's a challenge. So just remember not to give up. And even when it seems like you keep getting red flags or yellow lights, still keep pushing. An example, I had someone say to me the other day, you have had a lot of interviews and only one offer. And I was like, my first thought was, what does that mean? It stung, a little bit, but I just said I've had a few offers actually. One I didn't take because they wanted me to be on call 24 hours. That's not feasible for my life. Another offered me, but because of papers and logistics of things, it didn't work out. But yeah, in a year, I have applied for over 355 jobs, no joke. And I have interviewed for maybe 50, and I've gotten a few offers, but I can't give up, right? I have to keep going. I have to keep pushing, and stay in a space that God knows that I'm trusting him, and that you're in this season of your life for a reason. So accept it, but keep pushing. Understand why, and ask for support and guidance from God. And always be okay receiving just as much as you are willing to give. So if I had to sum that up, believe and have faith in God, believe and have faith and trust in yourself, and don't give up. Whatever your deep desires are, once you realize what they are, push hard to be in that space in whatever capacity it may be.
I like that. I love it. No, I don't like that. I love that. And that's powerful. That's powerful right there.
Oh, you said tell the followers how they can find me.
Yep.
So, um, I agree. IG and Facebook, Savette Empowerment Coaching, and then the same. It may be the same on TikTok. I can't really remember, but
Yeah, I think it is.
my website is www.savettempowermentllc.com. And on there, you'll see all the services that I offer, which is mostly coaching, consulting, and early child care and maternal health. And yeah, if you need anybody that needs any help and support in any of those areas, as well as small business startups, just send them my way. I have a passion for my coaching and consulting when it comes to education and maternal health. So I do pretty well in those spaces.
And she does amazing, y'all, for real. So definitely, we thank my sister for coming on here and gracing us with her presence and gracing us with all of her knowledge. So y'all stay tuned. We will be back again very soon with another power packed episode. You can tune in tonight at 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time and catch an after show vibes with me and Brandis on the night. So definitely stay tuned. We love y'all. God bless y'all and peace.